again, and I am the angry cook. A while back I made quiche, and I made several since. And I didn't use a fresh crust. I used a store-bought because I already had it. Don't let anybody pressure you into doing what you don't want to do. Don't let anybody tell you you have to use homemade stuff all the time. You don't. If you're in a hurry, and I was in a hurry that weekend because I had a ton of stuff to do, just go with the shortcuts. You don't always want to do that. We're not going to do that tonight. Tonight we're going to make pie crust from scratch because I'm making quiche tomorrow to take to my daughters. So let's get on with it. What do you need? You need AP flour. You need a stick of butter cut into about 1/8" cubes, and then diced, not diced, but quartered. And then you want to keep it cold. This has to be cold, so we're going to keep it in the freezer. It was in the refrigerator before I cut it, which was 5 minutes ago. I stuck it back in the freezer to keep it hard. Stop it. We want to keep the butter hard. We don't want it to melt. We want the butter to melt in the oven, not with our warm hands or a mixing bowl. And if anybody tells you you can't use a mixer or a food processor, tell them to pound sand, because you can. We're not living in the 1930s. Use technology to your advantage. First thing, we're going to weigh our flour. This is the reason I don't do baking a lot is because of precision. I like to be free to throw things around, add this, add that. And in baking, it's really hard to do that because a mismeasurement will change the way things are. So that's why I don't do baking a lot. We're going to do it here because, number one, I'm taking it to my daughter. Number two, I'm making a video. So we're going to use 100 grams of flour. So I'm just using a 1/4 cup to start. That's almost 50 grams, so it's just about a cup, give or take a click or two. It's 90 grams, 97 grams, 98 grams, a little over a cup. 100 grams. On the schnoz-a-moni. All right, we're going to put the flour. I'm so lost. Anyway, we got 100 grams of all-purpose. Half a teaspoon kosher salt. We're going to mix that just together. Okay, we're going to get our flour out now. We're going to get our butter out now. There's just days. I just wonder how I even walk. We're going to add our butter all at once. You don't need to break it apart. It'll come apart as a mixer. If you have a KitchenAid, set it on 2. If you don't, set it on like not quite low, just a little bit above low. We want this to come together and resemble coarse meal, kind of. So we're just going to let that crank it up a little bit and let that go for a minute. And we'll be back and I'll show you what I mean. All right, we're just about there. We got little flat things in there. I'm going to show you what it is because we're not done yet. We got to add some ice water, but I'm going to show you anyway. My cameras are all falling apart. It's ridiculous. So I'm kind of dealing with between the old GoPro and the Kodak Easy Share. I can't get the guy. Oh, I don't like it. There we go. Anyway, the Kodak Easy Share, and it just isn't working at all. Doing the best I can do. Can you see that? Can you see the pieces of butter in there? flour coated butter. That's what you want. Put this back in here. Attachment back on. Now, we're going to be, I got grease on it too. We're going to be adding our water. 3 tablespoons of water, a little bit at a time. We're going to drizzle it in. We're not just going to dump it in. We're going to watch the blend. We're going to put this on low, medium, just a little bit above low. We want this to come together into a cohesive ball. It's very dry here today, so we're probably going to need all 3 tablespoons. That's 3 1/2. And we're coming together. Let me see. See? If you can do this and it holds together, it's done. So we're done. A little over 2, maybe 2 1/2, 2 1/4, 2 1/3 tablespoons, which are 2 tablespoons a teaspoon, whatever. Anyway, now, and we're going to put a little flour down and dump that out. We are going to refrigerate this for at least 2 hours. For us, we're going to do it overnight, because I'm making a quiche tomorrow. We're going to bring this all together with our 2 little hands. Okay. See how cleaned up really nicely in there? Get this all together. Eat it a couple of times, not a bunch, just a couple, just to get a nice little ball. All right. And again, you don't want your warm hands all over it, melting that butter. We're going to get this wrapped, maybe not, and rested in the refrigerator for us overnight, but at least 2 hours. And tomorrow we'll roll it out, and we'll put it in the pie pan and make a quiche out of it. So we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, it's the next day. As you can tell, it's light out. Our ball of dough has been in the fridge for 15, 16 hours. Nice and firm. We'll put a little bit of flour on the dough. A little bit of flour on the surface. This happens to be silicone, which is nice. We're going to squeeze it out a little bit. You can see I've got my quiche stuff already. All right. So we flatten this out a little bit. Let's see where we need to go. We're going to go 12 inches. I'm not going to make the quiche in this, I'm just making the dough. And show you a couple of tricks my dad did. We let this come up to room temperature before we rolled it. We're close to it. It's probably about 60 degrees or something like that. So we're not rolling cold dough. It's nice, this mat tells me so I don't have to measure it and keep going back and forth with a pan or with a ruler to determine how big my dough needs to be. our dough on our rolling pin, like that. A little bit of sticky on there. Probably should have floured that a little better, but no big deal. It didn't put a hole in it. We're going to take our dough and we're going to roll it out on a pan. Even it out a little bit more. So we got the same amount over each edge. Kind of. Don't be anal about it. Now, what my dad did, he took, and I haven't done this in a while, he took and made a rim with the dough, with his knuckles, kind of like that. And what that does, and it's especially nice, and this dough is kind of thin, so it's going to be a little tricky, but I think we'll manage. It's a decorative rim, but it also increases the volume that the pie pan will hold. So you in essence get a bigger pie pan. Now the knuckle thing was purely for decoration, and I'm going to try to do that. See, didn't quite try to get your dough even. This isn't quite even. It's good enough, but my dad could do anything from memory. That's what happens when you're a chef. Since you were a teenager in the Navy. That's good enough. So, just going to take a knife, go around the edge. You can hold it up in the air if you want to be fancy. I'm not being fancy. Just go around with a knife, and you're not cutting it, you're just kind of pushing against the edge of the pan to shave it. Not much waste. No holes. Little hole in this little rim, but in the stick-up rim, but that's all right. You just cover that up. We're good. Got a crust. Homemade crust took, what, 10 minutes to make it, a couple of minutes to roll it out, 10, 15 minutes maybe to make your own. It's no big deal. We'll bring it back when the quiche is done and show you the final product in the crust after it's been cooked. So we'll be back in an hour or so, and just to show you what it looks like when it's done. So I'll see you in an hour. Okay, you can hear we got the beep. Are you all ready? Okay. Here we go. I told you I'd let you see it at the end. There it is, as the egg always rises. Spinach. Underneath is some Parmesan Reggiano that I grated on top of it. And the cherry tomatoes, different colors. There's some wheat too. So it's going to be a treat to eat Thursday, I think, is what it's going to be when we're going to eat it. So anyway, pizza crust. 10, 15 minutes of your time. Not a big deal. That was the recipe is for one crust, double it for two. Then divide it in half and put it in the fridge overnight, or 2 hours at least. So we'll see you later next time. We'll see you later next time. Oh my God. We'll see you next time on The Angry Cook.